Hey guys, what's up? It's Eunice and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about my 2018 drugstore makeup favorite. This video will be a two-part video. Today I will be talking about the products and why I love them and why they are my 2018 favorites. And the second video will be kind of like a get ready with me tutorial using the products, some of the products that I am going to be talking about today. So if you want to know how I got this makeup look, do subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any new videos. Anyway, without further ado, let's start with the first product that I apply whenever I do my makeup, and that's my eyebrow product. For 2018, I rediscovered my love for brow pencils. One thing that I don't like about brow pencils is the fact that they can be too costly. If the formula is too creamy, you will run out of it right away because once you glide it on your eyebrow, the product immediately transfers, and it's super easy to put too much product on your brows. That can look a little bit too drawn, or it won't look natural at all. So I try my best to look for brow products that are not too creamy but are easy to apply on your brows. One thing that I discovered was this e.l.f. Ultra Precise Micro Brow Pencil. I love this brow product because of the fact that the pencil is really thin, so it's really easy to mimic the natural hair brows, and it's also not too creamy. So I'm blending it out right there for you guys. I use the shade Natural Brown, and even though I already dyed my hair darker, the natural brown shade is still perfect for my hair. It's really long lasting. Even though I wipe my brows constantly when at work, I mean, it's not something that I do on purpose, but maybe I just like do this all the time. It lasts throughout the whole day even though I don't set it with a gel after. One thing that I don't like about this is the spoolie. It's kind of hard, so it's kind of harsh on your skin when you do use the spoolie. So I do my best to lightly comb my brow hair, but other than that, this brow pencil is amazing. At $5, you get the bang for your buck. I've been using this for about 3 months now. I use it more than 3 times a week, and I still have that much product left. Next up is eyeshadow. I always go for brows and then eyeshadow just in case there are any fallouts from my eyeshadow application. I'm not yet a professional when it comes to eyeshadow. Like, I do know how to like blend and whatnot. I do know what works for my eyes, but sometimes you can't help it. There's always fallout. So I do apply eyeshadow next. I usually start off with an eyeshadow primer. I know some people just use their concealer, but I got so used to using an eyeshadow primer that I think it's like habitual or like by instinct, whatever you want to call it, now I use an eyeshadow primer. One thing that I love and still love is the Essence I Love Stage eyeshadow base. I think I discovered this in 2017, and by far it's still the best eyeshadow primer for me. Only problem is it expires in 6 months, but I don't really follow that. I kind of play it by eye. Whenever I see that it's kind of drying na, I get rid of it, but as long as it's still working or it's not like drying up my lids, I still use it. The whole reason why I love it is because it has like that concealer formula, so it immediately covers the veins on my eyelid, creating a nice base for my eyeshadow. I do set my eyeshadow primer with some translucent powder after, just so that the eyeshadow applies beautifully after it and in the end it doesn't look patchy. Now moving on to eyeshadow, these are still my favorite products, and this was actually released last year at the end of 2017 and early 2018. These are the Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadow palettes, and these are super affordable. These are my favorite from the drugstore because they're only $5 each, and for $5 you get the bang for your buck because you have a lot of shades. You have your matte shades and your shimmer shades, as well as 2 transition shades, so you won't have a hard time whenever you're applying your eyeshadow. I am wearing the Not a Basic Peach palette on my eyes today. I also have the Rosé in the Air palette, which is comparable to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. And then I also have the shade Comfort Zone, which is more of your cooler shade eyeshadows. The best thing about these are they're super buildable, so if you're just starting to play with eyeshadows, it's not like the most pigmented that when you apply it on your eyelids, you get so much product in there. You can actually build it up to how you like it, and it's super blendable. It lasts throughout the whole day. Even the shimmer shades are amazing. I sometimes just apply the shimmer shades with my finger, but for a long-lasting shimmer eyeshadow look, I like to apply it with a brush spray it with some setting spray and apply it on my lids. Now for primer, I have 3 right here. If you know me, I'm not a fan of primer water or primer sprays. I actually got rid of my Smashbox primer water because I just feel like it doesn't do that much. Like, it doesn't prime my face or hydrate my face or anything like that. But last year from the drugstore, I'm not sure if JCat Beauty is from the drugstore, but it's not too expensive. This is the JCat Beauty Makeup Primer Spray in the scent Rose. And the reason why I love it is because it's really hydrating. On days where I'm too lazy to moisturize my face, I'm gonna be honest, even though I have dry skin, there are days where I'm like, I don't want to apply moisturizer and then wait a couple of minutes to apply my primer. I just go straight to this, and it works wonders because it hydrates my face and it creates a good base for my makeup, especially when I'm using a powder foundation. This is the primer water I like to use. Now, for the lotion type primers, you guys all know I originally loved the NYX Angel Veil Primer. This is just your typical lotion primer. It's amazing. It has I'm gonna show you guys. Like I said, it's just your typical lotion primer. It's white. It's really hydrating. It helps my makeup sit on my face and last throughout the whole day, but that's it. It's kind of flat. So something that I discovered last year is this Wet n Wild Dewy Primer. The only thing that I don't like about this primer is that it doesn't really hydrate my face, but it gives my face that natural radiant look, which I love, especially when using foundations that are that's kind of a matte finish, and I don't like my face when it's all matte just because it looks too flat for me. I kind of like that hydrated, glowy look, and that's why my makeup is almost always like this. So those are my favorite primers, and they're really affordable, and even though they're so affordable, they are high-end quality because they help my makeup last throughout the whole day. They hydrate my face and give my face that natural, healthy look. Now for foundation, I have 3 favorites because I am such a foundation girl. And if you know me, I'm not a fan of light, sheer coverage foundations. I like medium to full coverage. I know. I have dry skin. I shouldn't be doing that because it's just gonna clog up my pores and, I don't know, make my face look cakey. But these products don't do that to my face, and that's why I love them. First and foremost is my ride or die Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth. I use the shade number 235 Pure Beige. I'm not gonna talk that much about it because I always talk about this. It's super buildable. If you want a medium coverage, it will cover your veins, any imperfections, and if you want full coverage, you can definitely build it up, but it won't look too cakey. I also don't break out in this foundation, so that is amazing. It has SPF 18. Next up is something that I discovered last year. I actually did a wear test on this foundation, and it's the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. I am in the shade Soft Tan. No, not Soft Tan, Soft Sand. And something to note about this foundation, it's really radiant. So if you have oily skin, you might not like it, and you have to set it really well or else it's going to sink in your line. But if you set it really well, it's gonna look amazing all day. And it also has SPF 18. And like I said, it just has that natural radiant glow, which I love whenever I have foundation on my face. Last but not the least is the item that sparked my curiosity on foundation sticks. I've been always wanting to try the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, but I can't get on the bandwagon just because it's so expensive at $50. When I saw this and I saw a lot of reviews, to be honest, a lot of the reviews I watched were negative just because they had oily skin, and this foundation is really radiant. This is the Makeup Forever High-Ended Makeup Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick. I am in the shade number F11, and I love this because it's so creamy. As you can see, it doesn't tug on my skin. It's super easy to apply, and it's beautiful on the skin. It has a medium to full coverage look, and you can definitely build it up without making it look too cakey. And as you can see, the coverage is amazing. It has kind of an orangey tone, which I don't mind because when I set it with powder, it kind of balances that out anyway. So I do have to find my perfect shade still, but I really love it because it's really lightweight. All of these foundations that I mentioned, they're really medium to full coverage. They'll cover any imperfections and wear beautifully on your skin throughout the day. But the best thing about them is they're really lightweight. Like, I don't feel like I have a ton of makeup on my face whenever I use these foundations, and they're really affordable. So do try them, and if you try them, comment down below and let me know what you think. Now we have face powders. I have 3 right here. Yeah, 3. First, let's start with a powder foundation. I honestly never thought about using powder foundations because I do have dry skin, so I try to stay away from powder products because it kind of cakes up my skin and it just makes it look too dry. But this powder foundation is from JCat Beauty. Like I said, I'm not sure if JCat Beauty is JCat Beauty high-end or affordable or drugstore because they're not available in drugstore, but they're like affordable pricing. They're like ColourPop pricing for me. But yeah, this is enough about that. This is the JCat Beauty Aquasurance Powder Foundation. And the thing that I love about this is for days where I'm too lazy and I just want to put my tinted sunscreen on, I finish it with this to give my face a little bit more coverage because it has a really good coverage. I use the shade Soft Sand. No, this is Soft Tan. This is Soft Sand. This is Soft Tan. Okay. So I use the shade Soft Tan in this, and it does oxidize a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's a little bit darker for my skin tone, but like I said, once I apply it on my skin, I feel like it's good. Like I got this in during the summertime, so maybe that's why I got it a little bit dark, but it has a tendency to oxidize. So go like a shade or two lighter than your usual skin tone, and it's perfect. Like I said, for a powder foundation, it's really hydrating, and for days wherein you're just too lazy, this is really good to just throw on your face and you're good to go. There's coverage, amazing, wears beautifully, but it oxidizes. And it's also something that I may want to throw in my purse because it has like a little compact here for your sponge or your poof for easy reapplication throughout the whole day. It also doesn't cake up, so that's one thing that I love about this powder foundation. The next two items are powders that I use to set my cream products. So let's start with the loose powder, and I'm sure you guys all know this. This is my all-time favorite, Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This is the second year of this finishing powder, and it lasts for 24 months, guys. So it's okay. It's not yet expired, but this is the second year that this is my favorite. It actually is at par with my high-end loose finishing powders. The only problem that I have with this is it's not really a translucent powder. So whenever I have a full coverage foundation or concealer on, I don't like baking with this because it's gonna cake up my foundation. I just use a large fluffy brush and lightly apply this on my under eye and then use the same powder to dust it all over my face because it has a little bit of coverage. It has a shade. I use the shade light medium, and this is the perfect shade for me during the summertime, during the winter time. It's just so universal because it has a sheer coverage. But like I said, since it has a sheer coverage, if you already have a full coverage liquid or cream products on your face, don't bake with it because it's gonna be cakey. So just use a fluffy powder brush, set it, and go. The next product is something I discovered last year, and don't be deceived by its name. It's the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. It says matte, but it's not really matte. I don't think so. Because whenever I use this to set any product that's full coverage, so when I can't use this for full coverage looks, I go for this one because it's really translucent. It refreshes my makeup if I want to kind of, whenever I get home and then I'm like, I want to film, but I don't want to add more gunk on my face, I just use this to refresh it. My makeup looks a lot fresher, but it doesn't add much coverage, so it doesn't cake it up or anything like that. And this is also the powder that I use to set my eyeshadow primer. And it's really translucent. It doesn't give my face a white cast. True to its name, it's just really a translucent powder. Like, it may look like white here, but when you apply it, it's translucent. It's immediately gone. It's good for setting your face makeup. Wow, I am talking way too much. Now that we're done with the powders, I have 3 concealers right here. I have one that's more of a sheer to medium coverage, and to be honest with you guys, I decluttered my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer and decided to keep this. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I use the shade number 20 Sand, and I really love this because it's really just your everyday concealer. If you're someone who just likes a little bit of coverage, it covers your bags, but it's not too much na it's gonna look really what you call it, like plakado, tama ba yun? Na parang basta natural lang yung look niya. It doesn't clog my pores or anything like that, and it's also super long lasting and it's easy to blend. The way that I like to measure the blendability of my concealers is that if I can apply it on, like if I can put it here, and then blend it after, tapos it gives me enough time to blend it, that's when I know that's really blendable and it doesn't dry out that quickly. So that's why I love this. I have 2 more right here, which are more of a medium to full coverage concealer. So for something that's more on the matte side, so whenever I want like a full coverage event-like look, I use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. In my opinion, this is not a total dupe to the Tarte Shape Tape, just because the Tarte Shape Tape is a little thicker in formula, and the coverage is way more than this. I also use this for today's look, and as you can see, it's not yet creasing or anything like that. So it doesn't crease easily, and that's one thing that I look for in my concealers. I use the shade Medium 22 in the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. Last concealer is this Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. I think this is comparable to the Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Concealer because it has that hydrated, radiant finish. And whenever a liquid product has that hydrating, radiant finish, do know that you really have to set it well, or else it has a tendency to sink and crease on you. I really love this, but do know that you do have to set it well, or else it's going to sink in your lines. Like I said, I have a wear test of the Flower Beauty concealer and foundation, and I'll link that up here or down in the description box. So if you want to see that and see how it wears throughout the day, feel free to click that. I use the shade Medium Honey on the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. Wow, we are going to start wrapping up on this one. Sadly, I don't have a favorite drugstore bronzer because maybe we'll find one this year. I don't know. But yeah, I don't have a favorite bronzer or a favorite contour powder from the drugstore. I really love the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contour Palette na contour powder, but the fact that it breaks so easily, as you can see, it's like meteorites right now. It always does this. This is like my third or fourth pan, and it's always like that when I'm almost done with it. So that's why it didn't make it to my favorites, kasi nga, it has that con. So I want something that's really great. I know this video is so long, but don't worry, we're almost done. Let's get on to the blushes. So these two products are super long lasting for blushes. They last throughout the whole day. They don't fade away too quickly, and they're not like pigmented right off the bat. When I say they're not pigmented right off the bat, when you get your brush, get some product and then apply it on your face, you won't like get like super pigmented blushes on your face, but it's more of a buildable blush, and it's really long lasting when I step out of the door, and then when I get home, looks the same. And another thing that I love about them is their shade. They're perfect for my tan skin, and they're also perfect for a lot of different makeup looks. So let's get on to what products those are. The first one is this Milani Baked Blush in the shade Berry Amore. This is the blush that I use for almost every mauve toned eyeshadow look. It's really muted, but it's there. It's like a barely there look. As you can see, it will just give your face that flushed look without overpowering your eyeshadow. And it's similar to the formula of this Burt's Bees blush in the shade Toasted Cinnamon. I need to try the other shades of the Burt's Bees blush because this one is just my favorite. It's what I have on my cheeks right now, and as you can see, since I do have a lot going on my eyeshadow, I like to keep my blush a little bit muted, and I'm just going to swatch it right here. It's not as seen because it has that really warm neutral color. So like I said, this is what I like to use so that it doesn't overpower my eyeshadow but still give me that flushed, parang kinikilig look. Now for highlighter. This was a really tough choice for me because I love a bunch of drugstore highlighters, but I just feel like that these are the best highlighters out there, drugstore or high-end. These are amazing. It's what I have on my cheekbones right now, and they're the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighters. I have the shade Molten Gold right here and the shade Molten Rose Gold, and I am going to swatch these for you guys. The reason why I love them is they have like that creamy butter formula, but they're not glittery at all. As you can see, it just gives my face that kind of wet sheen look that makes my face look so naturally radiant, and I am going to swatch these for you guys. I didn't even press that much on the pan, but look how pigmented and shimmery and wet sheen looking that is. They also last throughout the whole day, and I find that the best way to apply this is spraying some setting spray on my face first, and then once it's kind of half dry, I blend in the highlighter to get this kind of wet sheen natural radiant look. I also love the fact that they have so many shades, even though they're only from the drugstore. It has a shade I think Molten Topaz for deeper skin tones, as well as like a more holographic color for if that's your thing when it comes to highlighters, that holographic look, and it has lighter shades too for lighter skin tones. Kind of forgot about these. These are more for the eyes. Last year I got so addicted to the Stila glitter and glow eyeshadows, but one thing that I noticed about them is they have kind of a little bit of fallout if you don't use a glitter primer underneath it, and that sparked my interest in the shimmer and glow eyeshadows. But they're kind of expensive at $24 each, and they're like mini size, are kind of a lot better since you don't really finish the whole thing. But I discovered some from the drugstore. Essence Metal Shock glitter eyeshadows. I have the shade Stars and Stories and the shade Moon Dust with me, and I am going to swatch it for you guys. Despite the price tag, they're so high quality. As you can see, it's really pigmented naman, and you can definitely build it up if you want to because they're so blendable. They don't dry out too quickly, and this one gives me enough time to blend it in with my matte shadow so it doesn't have that like line that separates it from the matte shadow, and then parang makikita mo na lang na may glitters doon. So that's another thing that I love about these products. I definitely need to get more shades. Before we head on to the other lip products or like the lipsticks, I forgot to talk about this. This is the Caroline Jelly Tint, and this one is from the Philippines. This one retails for 149 pesos, and despite the really low price tag, I love it because I'm gonna show you guys how amazing this product is. That little dot right there, I didn't even squeeze it, is so pigmented. Like, that's enough for like one cheek. And that lasts throughout the whole day. The way that I like to use it is whenever I use like a tinted sunscreen and I want to like go for a no makeup kind of look, I just apply that on my face as the blush, and it's amazing. It's really pigmented, and for the price, I don't even break out with it. I just love it. I'm not a fan of like tints or anything like that, but I really fell in love with this last year. For my mascara, I still love this, and this is something that I had to rediscover because I'm a person of habit and I just can't stop using my Heroin Make mascara. But then when I check out the prices here in the United States, like around $20 if you buy it from Amazon. So I was like, I need a drugstore one. L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara, waterproof mascara. I always get waterproof so that it doesn't smudge, and this is in the shade Black. I really love it because it's long lasting. It gives my lashes some volume, but it doesn't clump it up or anything like that. I've tried a bunch of different high-end mascaras, and this one sets the bar high for mascaras because this is only $10, but it gives my lashes that volume that it needs. It kind of lengthens it, not too much, but if you build it up, you maybe can, and it's not clumpy at all unless it dries out at the end of like the 6-month period. So yeah, if you're still looking for a mascara and you can't find the Heroin Make, do go for the L'Oreal Lash Paradise because it's amazing for $10. I have a couple of lip products right here, and do note that they're kind of similar when it comes to the shades because I fell in love with those nude chocolatey shades at the end of last year. And I'm gonna stop talking now and let's get on to the lipsticks. The first one is this ColourPop Luxe lipstick. I don't really have like liquid lipsticks na here because I kind of grew out of it last year and fell in love with Your Ordinary lipsticks just because I don't really feel like it's a hassle to reapply lipstick as long as it's not drying on my lips. So this is the ColourPop Luxe lipstick in the shade Layover. I love it. It's what's on my lips right now, and I wear this with almost every makeup look that I wear because it's so universally flattering. And like I said, it's kind of moisturizing and it's really not drying at all. Lipsticks that doesn't dry out my lips are really important to me. Next item is something that I had to keep on using to actually fall in love with it. At first, I didn't really like understand the hype for this product just because people were lining up for it and it was always out of stock. This is the Sunny's Face Fluff Matte Lipsticks. The first time I used it, I felt a little bit of tugging on my lips, but when I continued to use it, when it got to the point na the top layer was scraped off, it glided on a lot smoother. I don't know why. And another thing about it is I just love the shades. I think for people who have more of a deeper, medium to deep skin tone, their shades are amazing. I love the shade Nudist in particular, and I'm going to swatch this for you guys. There's the shade right there. It's just an amazing everyday kind of look. It's more of a comfort matte formula. At first, I felt like it was too drying, but like I said, when I scraped off that top, kind of had that comfort matte formula, and that's why I love it. So I'm excited to try their new product. I think they have a highlighter stick now, so I'm excited to try that. Anyway, the next product is this NYX Powder Puff Lippy. The reason why I love it is because it's kind of a different formula in my opinion, and the applicator is kind of weird at first, but it's really easy to apply. This is in the shade Cool Intentions, and as you can see, there's like a trend on my favorite shades right now. It's more of like that chocolatey nude shades, and the reason why I love it is because it's matte, but it doesn't look too matte on my lips. It's more like natural powdery look, and I feel like this is a dupe to the Buxom powder lipstick. So yeah, that's why I love it. A lot of the reasons why I love these lipsticks is because of their shades, because I feel like they're universally flattering. And then the last two items are actually lip toppers. I actually used to apply highlighter, like as in powder highlighter on my lips, and I just felt like that was a little too drying for my lips. So when I discovered these and I used them, they're not tacky, and I feel like they're dupes for the Rihanna Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs. I haven't bought those because I can't pay 20 bucks for lip gloss because I don't really use them every day. But yeah, whenever I want like a glittery lips, I go for these, and these are the Makeup Revolution Jewel Lip Toppers. I have two shades right here. I have Exquisite, which is what's on my lip. I applied it over layover, and just to show you guys, this one is more of a rose gold with gold specks. I am going to apply it over this Sunny's Face lipstick, and as you can see, it just gives it a sheen with a little bit of gold specks. And like I said, it's not sticky at all. It's really comfortable and it's really long lasting. And then the other shade that I have is the shade Exquisite. Oh, sorry. This is the shade Luxurious, which had the gold specks, and then the shade Exquisite has the silver specks. So I'm going to put that on top of the NYX lipstick, and as you can see, it's just really glossy, and for $5 I do think it's worth it. I love it. If you're looking for an affordable lip topper, go for the Makeup Revolution Jewel Lip Toppers. You won't regret it. So I guess that wraps up my 2018 drugstore makeup favorites. So if you tried out any of these products, comment down below. I'm interested on what you think about them, and also if you have any favorites that I did not mention at all, comment them down below because I'm really interested in trying a bunch of new makeup for this year. As usual, all the products that I mentioned will be linked down in the description bar, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and of course don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!